Welcome back to Brainy and Barefoot, where learning is fun, barefoot, and sometimes vertically challenged. Today, we're talking about something that literally shapes the way people look at you: height. That thing you can't change no matter how many vitamins your grandma gave you. Trust me, I tried. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm 5'4" on a good day, and that's only if I inhale deeply, wear boots, and pray. So naturally, I had to find out, why does height matter so much? And why does it not matter at all depending on where you are? Let's get smart about stature. First, let's get this out of the way. Height is not universal. If you're 5'4" in the Netherlands, you're a garden gnome. If you're 5'4" in Indonesia, you're average. If you're 5'4" in Puerto Rico, congratulations. You're perfectly sized to reach the lower kitchen cabinet and catch the Tupperware before it attacks you. In fact, according to the World Population Review, average male heights vary wildly. Netherlands, 6 feet. What are they feeding these people? Cheese and superiority? Guatemala, 5'3". Japan, 5'7". USA, 5'9". Puerto Rico, depends if you're barefoot or wearing chancletas. But here's where it gets fun. Height is more than bones and genes. It's culture. In ancient Egypt, tall people were considered closer to the gods. Literally. Because gods were up there and you were, well, almost. Meanwhile, Napoleon? He wasn't even that short. He was 5'6", average for his time. But the British were like, let's call him short so it sounds like we totally dominated him. And thus, the Napoleon complex was born. Thanks, propaganda. In some East Asian cultures, height has been tied to modernity. In South Korea, plastic surgery and leg lengthening procedures have been on the rise. Yes, leg lengthening. They literally break the bone, add a rod, and grow new height like a human bamboo stick. Meanwhile, I can't even grow a beard properly. Life is unfair. But wait, let's get scientific for a minute. Studies have shown height can affect how people are perceived. Taller people are more likely to be seen as leaders. They tend to make slightly more money, yes, even if they're terrible at their jobs. Some voters literally vote for taller presidential candidates. So if you're under 5'5" and running for president, good luck. And maybe invest in platform shoes and a step stool for debates. But, and this is important, none of this means height equals intelligence, kindness, or actual value. It just means our brains are weird and fall for visual tricks. Now, let's talk dating. Height in dating apps is practically a job requirement. Guys list it like it's a credential. 6'2", MBA emotionally available. Meanwhile, I'm out here like 5'4", can recite the entire script of Clueless and make a mean arroz con gandules. Fun fact, in a 2014 survey, over 49% of women said they preferred men over 6 feet tall. That's fine if you're dating in a Dutch basketball team. But guess what? Taller isn't always better. Studies show shorter men tend to live longer, have lower risk of certain diseases, and are statistically less likely to hit their heads on ceiling fans. Also, we're great at hugging. Our arms go right where they're supposed to. And now, the evolutionary twist. Did you know some scientists believe humans got taller over time because we stopped needing to hide in bushes? As agriculture spread, humans stood taller, moved more, and ate better. But in places where dense jungle or mountain terrain ruled, height wasn't an advantage. That's why communities in the Philippines, Bolivia, and yes, parts of Puerto Rico tended to stay a bit shorter. Because being low to the ground was smart. We were evolved for flip-flops, hammocks, and ducking under low doorways. You're welcome. So what's the final takeaway? Height is one of those things we love to obsess over, but it mostly exists in the eyes of the culture. Some places revere tallness. Some don't care. And some of us are just vibing at 5'4", reaching for knowledge instead of high shelves. If you're tall, congrats. You can dust the top of the fridge. If you're short, congrats. You're closer to the snacks. Either way, being smart beats being tall any day. So walk tall, even if you're barefoot. Thanks for hanging out with Brainy and Barefoot. If you learned something today or just felt seen as a fellow fun-sized genius, hit subscribe. Get smarter. Stay curious. And don't let anyone measure your worth in inches. See you next time.